Hey, this one is beautiful. Beautiful and scary all at the same time. The Wyatt Six, or is the Wyatt Six as a number? We'll get to that. But this is a bit of a mystery, and I am struggling very hard to put together my thoughts on the Wyatt Six. And for those of you who may be new to the channel or new to the video, just scrolling by, I am Wiser. And every now and then I do videos covering wrestling, if life permits it. I try, I swear I do. But this one is crazy because I don't know how to figure this out. And the thing that I don't know how to figure it out is we have a dead Chad Gable. Like, I don't know how we got dead Chad Gable. It's kind of out of nowhere. We got a few dead people apparently with this. The Wyatt Six made their debut at the end of Raw on what was that, June 17th? At the end of Raw, June 17th, and they made a hell of an impact and a very, very big lasting impression on the wrestling community. And it was really simple. Jey Uso had his music going. And of course, Jey Uso had the Fireflies. And we can take it back to a time on Twitter where Jey Uso said, "These my Fireflies now." Oh, I figured that that wouldn't go over well when Bo Dallas came back, or Uncle Howdy. I'm sorry, when Uncle Howdy came back, I figured that wouldn't go over too well, and boy, did it not. They're out there celebrating, they're out there yeeting, they got the Fireflies pumping, and you hear that familiar sound from Bray Wyatt. Where he would drop the lights, drop the power, drop the energy, and just shut everything down. And I'm like, damn, is the Fiend coming out? Is he alive? I probably can't say that. Has enough time passed? I'm not sure. Has enough time passed where I could? Mm, I got to be careful with Bray jokes. Can I? Now I'm confused. Can I? Is it okay? Probably harping on this for a little bit too long. However, drop the lights, and Nikki Cross comes crawling out, just like the girl from The Ring. If you ever seen that movie, I might be showing my age, I'm not sure. And she points to the back, and the camera shows the gorilla position and backstage, and lights are out. There's blood all over the place. Guys are laid out. There's smoke. Beautiful chaos. It was wonderful. And we had a few guys that were laid out back there. One namely being Chad Gable, who apparently had a bullet hole in his head. How we get there? Like, are we carrying guns at this point? Like, it's really out of control. We had Braun Strowman, who was, I guess, thrown into one of the crate gimmicks in the back. Definitely Braun Strowman, and it made me wonder, like, damn, why would they attack Braun Strowman, a former Wyatt family member? But then again, he did leave the Wyatts, so you turned your back on us, bro. We gotta get you. We'll leave you alive, but we gotta get you. Then it was a bunch of other people laid out back there. I guess that they were more so just people that were on a production team and not. See, a lot of people are wondering if one of the guys was Gunther, and I just don't want to believe that they would have Goon in that position. I just don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe it. You know, there was speculation on one of the guys that was up against the wall with the blood over his head being Seth Rollins. They thought it may have been Carmelo Hayes. I just think it was a guy in production, excuse me. So that was the scene, and then they show Uncle Howdy after they show Chad Gable laid out with the, with the bullet hole in his head. Show Uncle Howdy, and out they come, and they just kept hitting that one piano note over and over and over. And it made me think because a faction or segment like this, there's going to be plenty of theory videos on the YouTubes that I am expecting. And it's going to take a lot of time to uncover everything, but then again, the internet's going to internet, and they're going to find every small detail and put them all together. And maybe I'll do videos on those in the future. I don't know. but I think that I need to see what direction this goes into. Throughout the show, there were all types of Easter eggs. There was like the bunny that was inside of a sneaker behind Chad Gable. There was well, that was the Rambling Rabbit. There was a buzzard in one spot. There was the little Huskus little pig doll in another spot. You know, the dolls were put into all types of different places. But here's my one theory. Well, a couple of theories so far. Just thoughts. I believe, or I want to believe, that everything we saw was a figment of our imagination. And I want to believe that Uncle Howdy is in control of what people perceive and your imagination. Because I mean, did we really kill Chad Gable? like we're gonna come back to Monday Night Raw on Monday, and like people have to get back to work. They can't just be dead, right? So did Uncle Howdy just control and manipulate our imaginations, right? To get his fireflies back. I do like that all of these different parts of Bray's personality are now life size because we have Ramblin' Rabbit, we have Mercy the Buzzard, Huskus the Pig, the Abby the Gale or Abby the Witch. Now, is Abby the Witch supposed to be Sister Abigail? That is supposed to be Sister Abigail, right? I believe it's supposed to be Sister Abigail. And apparently we might be getting Alexa Bliss a little bit later. I'll go back to that. I will get back to that. But we have all of these different pieces of Bray Wyatt, right? And it appears as though it appears as this all right. It appears as though we needed Bray to leave in order for the evils to come out. So it's like the good part of Bray, when Bray came back, remember this, when Bray came back, he just wanted to be a good person, but he had these demons inside of him, right? And Uncle Howdy was always saying to let them out, right? Be yourself, stop faking. This is who you are. And Bray, being a good guy, was being able to hold them back. So now that Bray is gone, it's like all of his personalities are coming out. This is beautiful. This is just a beautiful story. Now, the problem comes with, well, they're gonna have to wrestle. They're gonna have to wrestle, and how would they do it? I think they can pull it off, but it depends on how long they can sustain it. You know, we've had factions like the Ministry of Darkness, we've had Varsity Club, we've had what were those guys over in WCW who did it all wrong? I forget, it'll come to me at another day. We had Ravens Flock and ECW. Like we've seen stuff like this throughout the years and we've seen it work. I think that they can make it work, and I want to say they can make it work for the long haul because if Bray was able to make the Wyatt family work as a group for as long as he did, and I believe that they cut that short, I think that they can get at least 4 years with this if they don't have them on there too much and they keep them special. And you also have to work different segments with this type of faction. Different events. They should just, like, when they appear, it should mean something. It should be like, oh shit, they're here. It should not be every week. You could also do situations in which you bring out one or two of them per show. They all don't have to be there, or they're just popping up in the backgrounds. And that was another thing. If you look at some of the segments from Raw, namely the opening promo with Seth Rollins talking to Priest, you see Uncle Howdy in the crowd in one of the exits locations. He's back there, and he's there for a while. He's there for a while. The light is on him. You just had to look at the crowd and you would see him. So they can do stuff like that, but I just don't want them there every week. Got to keep a team like that special. So how can the characters wrestle with their gimmicks, right? They have their costumes. How can they work with their gimmicks? And I think that it's not that hard. Nikki Cross, she could keep her mask, and like I said, she could appear like the girl from the ring, and her wrestling style from Sanity, that still works, and it would work very well for this character, especially for this character. Nikki Cross is someone that people were like, majority of people were saying should have been Sister Abigail from the beginning, because that's a character that we knew she could pull off because she's fucking crazy. And we can keep her as that. She doesn't need to change anything. Keep the mask on, keep the hair looking crazy, and you're good to go. Matter of fact, I would keep her in the same gown, or yeah, it's a bit of a gown, I believe. And there's a girl from TNA. What is her name? What is her name? What is her name? I'm gonna find this girl. Okay, I believe I found it. Rosemary from TNA. When she was with Abyss, and they were a part of, what's the name of the group? Now I'm losing the name of the group. As a part of Decay, like, that look can work for Nikki Cross. And again, she already has the style that she can work. It's unorthodox. It's kind of crazy. It fits the character. Eric Rowan, he's already had this, and he don't really gotta do anything to change. He could take his mask off and be himself. We already know that Eric Rowan is Eric Rowan. However, I wouldn't really put him in matches. I would just have him be the muscle. And if you do put him in matches, you know, very seldom not hot tags, but just very seldom tags where it's like, uh-oh, the big guy's in. You give him a couple of minutes and you get him out of there. He's just the muscle. Joe Gacy, I would give him a Vampiro look. He could keep his same wrestling style. Loomis is the hardest one to work with here, because I think that they have to completely change his look. But I would just dirty him up, and he's another one that can keep his same wrestling style. I would just have him be a bit more aggressive, and I think that this faction can work, but we can't oversaturate them. Alexa Bliss is, you have her come back as the person that she was. So she's not Sister Abigail. She was just a person who was taken over. And she wasn't a figment of Bray's imagination. She was brought into his world. So she can continue to be that person. Bo Dallas as Uncle Howdy, I don't know if he wrestles with the mask on, but he's someone. See, Bo Dallas was actually the better worker out of the two, him and his brother. But his style, I I would probably have to take a look at Papa Shango and how he worked, because Papa Shango, or Kama, or the Godfather, he can work. He could actually work for a big guy, right? He was a big guy. He could actually work his certain style. And he played a lot of different characters, and each character had a different wrestling style. The Papa Shango style can work for a Uncle Howdy. However, and I will use witchcraft, kind of like Papa Lingba, like from American Horror Story. I might actually have that on screen right now, but oh, that's fucking perfect. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. I would have him with the Papa Legba gimmick. He could do magic in the ring, and of course it's production, but he could do magic in the ring to incapacitate whoever it is that he's going against. Or if you want to do attacks on people in the back, Saint Papa Shango, how he was able to that was Papa Shango, right? How he was able to, have warrior like throwing up green stuff, and he had Jake the Snake Scare. He had everybody terrified. I would go that route with him. And again, the guy can already wrestle, so he's good to go. But he has to use the supernatural stuff. Not too heavy, where it's like how it was kind of out of control with Bray, and it didn't make sense, but like just small things here and there, that it would keep people off guard, and then he can continue to work his style. But I think that Papa Ligba is the best comparison that I can give. I really like that one a lot. But that's just my opening thoughts on the Wyatt 6. I thought it was beautiful. These pieces of Bray's personality all becoming lifelike and life size in actual beings because Bray finally let them out in his passing is wow. It's wow to me. Wow. I love it.